Oblivion is a funny game.
Farewell.
May you rest in peace.
At least that's the impression I got from the game before I played it. I am no stranger to Bethesda open world games. I played Skyrim and Fallout 3 and 4, so naturally I knew how the game's structure around open world gameplay would work. I heard that mostly the graphics were redone for the game, and the actual core of the game wasn't really touched on, so I knew the game was gonna have a few bugs, which honestly adds that extra Bethesda charm to the game. I heard good things about Oblivion, but the only thing I really knew about the game before playing it was that the story was more centered around the Daedra instead of dragons, and that there's a hell dimension that you can go to. We start off with an intro cutscene that introduces us to the Emperor Uriel Septim, who warns us about Oblivion gates opening up all around Tamriel, and telling us about our biggest op, Merunus Dagon, a Daedric prince. Then the camera zooms into an Imperial prison where we are imprisoned in. Then, of course, with every game with a custom character creator, I spend roughly 30 minutes making my character, occasionally looking up the best races and backgrounds because I'm one of those people. I literally can't be trusted to make my own character because I'd probably make the most inefficient character, and I'd probably like quit the game like 10 hours in. So of course I choose Breton because Bretons have high resistance to magic and are well versed in magic themselves, which means I could tank hits from magic and then use some magic of my own. I then decided to call my character Fenty because she looks like an upside down Cool Ranch Dorito that's about to turn into a zombie. So after being belittled by another prisoner, the Emperor and his guards enter my cell to access an escape route to evade an assassination attempt. Most of this tutorial area I kind of went through already because I had a previous save file, but the footage didn't work with me, so I had to restart and make a new character. My old character's name was Fent, by the way. I kind of know what already happened, so I'll lay it down for you right now. Some assassins show up, Captain Renault gets one-shotted, I take a different path from the Emperor, and then I meet back up with them. And then he tells me about a birth sign, blah blah blah. Then we reach a dead end where the Uriel Septim meets his end. Before he died, he gave me something called the Amulet of Kings and told me to bring it to someone named Joffrey. That is a lot of trust to put in someone you just met, especially in a prison. Like I could be like P Diddy for all you know. Only me and one of the Emperor's guards named Boris ended up being the only ones surviving the ordeal. The Emperor's guards are called the Blades, just like Skyrim, guys. And Joffrey, who the Emperor mentioned, happens to be the old captain for the Blades. Boris tells me where to find Joffrey and gives me a key to exit the sewers. At the end of the sewers, it gives me an option to change my character, birth sign, or skills that I chose. By the way, I chose the Lord's birth sign, which gives you more defense and magic defense. So basically this birth sign with the Breton race makes your character a complete juggernaut. At least that's the impression I got from the internet. Boris previously claimed that I was an archer, and as much as I would like to take the beaten trail of a stealth archer, I chose to focus on conjuration while also being able to fight with the swords. So basically a summoner with a sword, or as in Afro Senju's words, the Sung Jin Woo build. With this build, I should be able to summon monsters, help me fight, and take aggro while I flank or hit the enemy from afar. In no time, I'll be able to summon armies of minions to fight for me as I watch the ragdoll bodies of my enemies. Arise, my fucking thing. Well, right now my summons aren't the most impressive looking, but they do help with taking aggro from the enemy. This strategy was my bread and butter for getting through the game, and I think it works decently. Also, this game is beautiful. As I was making a beeline towards Coral, which is where I was told Joffrey would be, I noticed how impressive the graphics were and how loud my PS5 was trying to render everything in. But my god, for a remaster of a game, it almost feels like a complete remake of the game. After exploring some caves along the way and encountering a highwayman, I made it to Joffrey's house and showed him the Amulet of Kings. He seemed skeptical of me at first, but decided to help me and show me where I should go next. Joffrey then reveals that the Emperor has an illegitimate son that was raised separately from the royal family and now works in a church in Kvatch. The Emperor's sons were all killed in previous assassinations, so the only person who can take the throne now is the illegitimate child named Martin. The reason why Joffrey sent me to find Martin is because only Martin can use the Amulet of Kings, and with the Amulet of Kings he can light the dragon fires at the Temple of the One, which will close the jaws of Oblivion for good. And then everyone wins and everything is happy. So all I have to do is go to Kvatch and find Martin, which is exactly why I went into the nearby town of Coral and did a few quests there. It was here that I first tried using Persuasion. The Persuasion minigame is a way to get NPCs to like you. With shopkeepers you can negotiate better rates, and you can get unique dialogue from certain NPCs. It did take me a while to understand, as the first time I tried to use it, I thought I softlocked myself because I chose an option and nothing was happening, and I couldn't back out. The way the game works is that you have to choose all persuasion options, and a wheel spins on the effectiveness of each option. The aim of the minigame is to try choosing the most effective part of the wheel on the most liked option and the least effective part of the wheel on the least liked option. And of course I didn't understand it at first, so I was staring at a random guy's face for about like 15 minutes, like an old person looking at a card reader. In Oblivion, there's the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, and the Thieves Guild. I decided to just go for the Mages Guild questline because I was hoping that it will help me get more powerful summons for me to use. So I talked to this Argonian in the Coral's Mages Guild Hall to join the Mages Guild, and he gives me a Mages Guild quest to check up on a certain woman. The thing is, if I finish the Mages Guild quest at each town, the guild masters will send recommendations to the Imperial College of Magic and I'll be admitted to the college there. And since my character is young and impressionable, she'll think that college is the next necessary step in life without knowing that she'll be paying off crippling debt for the most of her life. Anyways, we were talking about a woman, and on my way to talk to her, I was greeted with an intriguing, very humanistic interaction.
What's the news from the other parts of Tamriel?
Nothing I'd like to talk about.
Bye. Oh, hello. Ah, yes, you are a guild mage, are you not?
This lady wants me to get a book for her, and the book is apparently forbidden. Damn, that shit must be like the lusty Argonian maid or something. On the way, I came across a pretty cool cave with some big monsters. They're intimidating at first, but blocking is so OP in this game, because if you level up block enough, you don't take damage, you just lose stamina. If you block then do small combos, then block the enemy's next attack, then you basically become invisible. But I'm kinda ass at the game, so you still get hit as you see here. But they even had a minotaur at the end of this cave, which was pretty cool. So I traverse the mountain like any normal human being would, and I find the Fingers of the Mountain book. And I decide to snitch on the lady. Rip bozo, you shouldn't be doing forbidden stuff. Yeah. On my way to Kvatch, I stopped by Skingrad first to do the Mages Guild quest there. The dialogue is dialoguing. It's beautiful. Oh, wow. So a guy from the guild went missing, so I had to get him from a cave. I tried out magic on some monsters and realized that magic wasn't for me. I also almost hit the dude because I thought he was a monster as well. To be honest, I was still kind of wary about him, because why was he unharmed in a cave full of monsters? What was he doing with them? I don't know what was going on in here, but something seemed fishy. Also, there's some weird guy that told me to meet him behind a church. I didn't mind him too much. Maybe it's something I'll do later, I don't know. Well, I finally reached Kvatch, and a few things seemed off. One was the group of people telling me to avoid the town, and the other thing was that the whole town seemed to be transformed into a complete hellscape. This guy was telling me to avoid the gate, but a knight doesn't avoid their duty. If we are to close shut the gates to Oblivion, then the first one shall be here. First, we'll jump straight into... Oh, it's... Oh. Well, that's a bit embarrassing. Well, we made it into Oblivion, and one of the soldiers came up to me and said he wanted to dip, so I just let him. I can do this by myself. As I ascend the tower, the main tower, I beat some of these guys up, and when I came across this bridge, I just took a good look at Oblivion. I feel like the first time you enter Oblivion, it's a very mesmerizing view. It's such a different landscape than the one I was traversing this whole time, which makes a really good first impression. So I encountered a Dremora that ended up talking to me. I tried getting the right angle for the camera. Me and Scully Bro ended up being his ass, and this guy was locked up here. I don't know if you're able to save him. I tried, but I didn't know how. Well, I mean, sucks to be you, I guess. Rip, brother. I beat more guys up on the way up, and I finally reached the Sigil Stone. Yeah, that guy is totally dead now. Or maybe he'll be like Tom Hanks from Castaway. He'll make like a boat and cross the lava and find the gate that way. Me and these soldiers round up the remaining monsters in Kvatch, and we go meet up with the rest of the survivors. I found Martin among the survivors and brought him back to Joffrey, but they were being attacked by the same assassins that killed the Emperor. After making quick work of them, I learned that the assassins come from a cult called the Mythic Dawn. They worship Marunus Dagon and are the reason why the Oblivion gates are popping up everywhere. They also stole the Amulet Kings while they're here, which means they can't fire the lightning, dragon light. Oh my god, what? We realized that there is no better place in Cyrodiil than Cloud Ruler Temple for Martin's safety, because it's a headquarters for the Blades, and it will be a place that we go back to a few times. I tried talking to this guard on the way. It would be cool if you could talk on horseback, and I guess he's a little shy. Me and the gang made our way up north, and we stopped by a town called Bruma. I ended up doing the Mages Guild quest at Bruma, where one of their members were missing, but they were just playing a prank on the headmaster. Very interesting quest. I also had to steal something at some point, but my followers made it hard to do so, so I just shut the door in their faces. There's a speech at Cloud Ruler Temple. Don't really care too that much. And then there's these guys sparring. Don't really care too much. Oh, I actually got something out of that guy. Oh, cool. I actually knew that, like, if you stare at these guys, you get a thing, cause yeah, I spoiled that on myself as well. Then I suddenly had the sudden urge to do something that wasn't the main quest, so I looked at the quest I had currently. Then I remembered a person came up to me a while ago to meet behind the church in Skingrad. So this guy has a whole quest line where he thinks an organization is after him, and he sends me to follow 3 people with the promise of gold. And to be honest, this guy is tweaking. I could have turned him in earlier, but I decided to follow this guy's shenanigans, and it was a pain in the ass. I was so bored following these random people around. The only enjoyment I got from this was from a literal glitch. And I mean, it's pretty entertaining. I ultimately decided to tell this man off and kill him, cause that was a huge waste of my time. I went back to Kvatch again since it was nearby because the guards needed help rescuing the count, I believe. And the courtyard was filled with so many enemies. My PS5 was about to explode from these guys. We did defeat them all, but not without sacrifice. Without forgetting the loss of my fellow soldiers, I carried on their dreams and went on inside and saw the Oblivion model for the Flame Astronaut. Yeah! And the count is dead. Well, I got his ring and gave it to Captain. Yay! Since I was in Kvatch, I figured that I might as well head to Anvil and do their Mages Guild quest. I happened to cross paths with another tweaker while exploring town. Man, I've had enough with these freaking tweakers. So, the headmaster of the Anvil Mages Guild sends me off to deal with a rogue mage that is killing merchants. I head off to this inn, claim that I am a merchant, and lo and behold, we rat out the rogue mage. Luckily, there is an Imperial soldier that helped me beat her up, and there just happened to be an Oblivion gate nearby. I won't show you what happened. All you need to know is that I took that sigil stone and dunked it into the afterlife. Anyways, I report the death of the rogue mage to get that sweet recommendation, and it's finally time to do the main quest again. After everything, this is the first time I'm entering the Imperial City because I completely ignored it when it was right next to me in the beginning of the game. And wow, this place has a lot of bricks. And a lot of stores too. There's an arena where you can watch fights and participate too, but this guy is a bit of an asshat, so I'll wait a little bit on that. And there's also 2 people fist fighting outside the arena. I would have loved to try out an unarmed build, but I heard that in Oblivion they don't have kill animations, so that means no funny suplex animation, which was like the best part of playing an unarmed build in Skyrim. I mean, this game was originally made in 2006, so if it did have kill animations, it probably wouldn't have been the goofiest shit ever. So the real reason for me going into the Imperial City was to meet up with Boris, the guy from the start of the game. He has some information on where the Mythic Dawn are hiding, so I talked to some NPCs. I have to collect these books or whatnot. It takes some time, but we finally find a meeting spot for some Mythic Dawn members. Boris plays as a decoy, although I'm immediately found out because of my heavy ass. I summon a ghost to help me fight, and then I see Boris's lifeless body. If only I wasn't so big body, then I would've we've been able to get these fools. Okay, I decided to save scum and play it a bit more safe, and the guys are coming back to check the bridge anyways. God damn it. Well, things somehow worked better than the other timeline. I go to this other person now because now I have all the books of whatever the fuck, and apparently there's a code in them. I actually tried to decipher it myself, but the game tells you what the words mean anyways, and it leads me to this tomb that conveniently has a map to the enemy hideout. Hooray! Since I was on my way to Dagon Shrine, which is the hideout for the Mythic Dawn, I stopped by Cheydinal and did the Mages Guild questline there. So the headmaster of this guild hall sent me into a well to find a missing person and a ring they were given. And the thing was that the well was filled with water. I had no freaking idea where to look. I was looking at walls and stuff, and to be honest, looking back at this footage, I think it was just a skill issue. Why the hell was I checking the ceiling? The headmaster sent the previous guy in here as well, which means he was sending random people in here to die. So with some help from the gods, and I mean some guy on Reddit, I found a way that you can breathe underwater. You can get a helmet that lets you breathe underwater. Anyways, I get the helmet and I drown to death. I should have taken my clothes off earlier because movement speed and all that. But now I have Fin Gleam, which gives you water breathing and the craziest LSD vision that you'll ever see. So I get my get back at this well, and I'm starting to believe that I deserve to drown the first time. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I missed the dead body right in front of me. Then I started doing the dumbest shit possible. Like, I thought the ring was engraved in the wall or something. And then, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like, what is wrong with me? I finally found the guy. I'm done with this quest. I don't want to talk about it. There's a part about, like, black soul gems, but I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, so nothing happened, and we're making our way to Dagon's shrine. I disguise myself as a member of the Mythic Dawn so that I can meet their leader there. I give away my belongings and watch this guy give a speech. He is also hitting that pose beautifully, by the way. The speech guy goes through this portal, and then I realize that is the guy I'm looking for because he just took the Amulet of Kings with him. Whatever, I'll do your freaking sacrifice thingy. I don't know if there's something you could do different, but it is what it is. I see this book thing and a dagger, and I immediately get an idea on what to do next. I yoink both the book and the dagger and give it my all. So I'm fighting like I'm trying to kill someone with a Nerf gun, cause this damage is ass. I realize this is going nowhere, so I just book it on out there. Just as I thought, I lost all my items because I chickened out. Two guys come in out of nowhere to face me. With the help of my ghost friend, I beat them up and they just happened to have all my items, so everything worked out in the end. I gave Martin the weird book thingy and I followed the quest marker out these stairs and I met with shirtless Joffrey. What the fuck? This game, bro, I can't. Joffrey sent me to deal with some spies. I check up on their houses and apparently the Mythic Dawn already knows where we're at. Don't worry, if they pull up, I beat them up. That's how it goes. The main quest now wants me to collect 4 items to create a portal to go after the leader of the Mythic Dawn, and I say screw that. I go off on a journey of self-discovery, and by that I mean finishing the Mages Guild questline and stopping by odd places along the way. And there's just a horse here in Oblivion. Okay, so I made my way to Braville to do their Mages Guild quest, and I saw a very cinematic looking Oblivion gate at the Braville's entrance, but I decided to deal with it later because I didn't want to spend another half hour in copy and paste hell. There is also this horse on the bridge. Anyways, the Braville Mages quest wasn't really that intriguing. Basically, some guy stole a staff from a girl to get her attention. I didn't really care for this quest, so I'll spare you the time. And, okay, you know the drill. Get the hell out of here, Oblivion Gate! I saved the town from their Oblivion Gate, and now they're... okay, you know what? I won't question it anymore. I've had it with this town with their weird horses, bomb-ass quests, weird AI. I'm gonna go and finish this last Mages Guild. No! What more purpose does my life serve? I think the water calls to me. And that's when I see a strange door appear on my compass. But let me ask you, what is stranger? A strange door or a naked woman holding a sword and shield swimming through a lake? You will be the judge of that question. I had Film Gleam on and I checked the bottom of this little island and it kind of started to freak me out. It was giving a bit Subnautica vibes, you know? I honestly had no idea what to expect from this. And this whole thing just weirded me out. There's just people waiting outside the portal. Fin Gleam's effects were still showing even though I took it off. They're fighting each other now. Now the portal is starting to talk to me. Just put it in, bro. Just show me how crazy this game can be. Okay, there's a guy waiting with a metronome ticking. There's a book of madness on the table. I don't know what that's all about. Why does bro got that shit on though? I might kill him for the drift, to be honest. Am I going mad? Is this what madness is? Cheese for everyone?